In this video, we're talking about the concept of arrays. And arrays are a type of data structure. And we have many different types of data structures in our C# applications. But arrays specifically are an easy one to learn. So arrays are data structures consisting of related data items of the same data type. And so we can think of this, when we talked about a variable. And a variable was a named location in memory. So we would give it a name and it could hold a value. Well, an array is a collection of many different items held in memory as long as they're the same data type. So I could have many different integers inside of here. I could have an array of double values or decimal values as long as it's all the same data type. When we're working with arrays, we have what's called the array index, and the array index equals the position of the array that we want to work with. And arrays are always zero based. So when I want to talk about a particular piece of information inside of the array, I want to look at index 0, for example, which holds the value of 5, or index 4, which holds the value of 5. When I'm talking about specific parts, or I want to reference specific parts of the array, I use this index value to point to the particular position inside of the array that I want to work with. So let's look at an example. Since arrays occupy space and memory, and they are objects, then they are created with an array creation expression that is very similar to the one that we use when we're creating objects. So here is an example of that array creation expression. We use the data type that we want to create our array from. In this case, this is going to be an array of integers. The square brackets indicate that it's an array. We give it a name, and we equal it to a new, because we're creating a new object, and the data type again, and in the square brackets on this side, how many positions we want in the array. So if we declare an array of size 10, we're going to get positions 0 through 9. So like I explained in the previous section, when we want to reference a specific part of the array, we use the array index number, and we can reference these inside of the square brackets. So this statement here says I want the my array position 5, and I'm going to put the value of 10 inside. So we can set a breakpoint and see what this looks like, since we can debug and see the entire internals of the array. So down in our locals window, we can see that by default, all of the positions are initialized to 0, and we can see that we start with 0, we end with 9, and in position 5 is that value of 10 that I previously added in here on line 15. A second way that we can declare an array is by using a predefined list of items inside of a set of curly braces. When using this format, we are creating an array of the type that you are defining, giving it a name just like we did above, but we are using this curly brace set of items separated by a comma. And so this will create an array named myPreArray, expecting integers, and will create as many positions needed for the amount of items provided to it in the initialization list. So if we look at this particular array in our debug window, we can see that all of the values are filled in 5, 6, 9, and 10 in positions 0, 1, 2, and 3. So in the next section, we'll look at how to loop through arrays and use them in some various looping scenarios.